Hi everyone, today we are going to do the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree from Class 9 book Beehive. Before beginning with the session, let's first understand the title of this poem. The Lake Isle means an island in a lake. The Lake Isle of Innisfree means Innisfree is the name of that island. Now, why is this island Innisfree so special to the poet W.B. Yeats that he has written a poem on it? When the poet was very small, he used to go to this island to spend his holidays, and he found this island very peaceful. Although no one stays there, but the kind of calmness and peacefulness he gets when he goes there is really priceless or is really invaluable to him. Now that he has grown up, he lives in a city, but in that hustle bustle of city, he misses that calmness. And so one day, he feels like going back to this island. And that is why he has written this poem to express what he will do when he goes there and why does he want to go there, what attracts him there. Let's do this poem and let's understand this poem, after which I will summarize stanza-wise, then we'll do Poetic Devices, rhyme scheme, significance of the title, moral, and at last the question answers. But before we begin with the session, let's know something about William Yeats. William Butler Yeats was born on 13 June 1865 in Sandymount, Ireland. He was an Irish poet, dramatist, prose writer, and one of the foremost figures of 20th century literature. He helped to found the Abbey Theatre and in his later years served 2 terms as a senator of the Irish Free State. His famous poems are The Second Coming, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, Easter 1916, A Prayer of My Daughter, The Stolen Child, and many more. He died on 28 January 1939 in France. The Lake Isle of Innisfree. This well-known poem explores the poet's longing for the peace and tranquility of Innisfree, a place where he spent a lot of time as a boy. This poem is a lyric. Tranquility means calmness, and lyric means musical or song-like rhythm. The poem that we are going to read is actually an expression of the poet's feelings, that how much he is waiting to get some peace and calmness in his life. And the best place to have these two things is to go to Innisfree. Innisfree is an island which is located in a lake, and that is why it is called the Lake Isle of Innisfree. It is situated near Ireland. So this poet who in his childhood had gone to Innisfree, and now again after growing up he is so bored, he is so disgusted with the everyday city life that now he wants peace, he wants tranquility in his life, and therefore he is waiting to go back to the same place called Innisfree. Now let's read and understand this poem. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there, of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. There midnights all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evenings full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core. I will arise and go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. Here I is the poet William Yeats. Arise means get up, cabin means hut, and wattles are twisted sticks for making fences or walls. The poet here says that one day he will get up and go, leave that place and go to Innisfree. Innisfree is the island where he wants to go to have some peace. And there on the island, he will build a small hut. And this hut will be made of clay. Clay means mud, and wattles. Wattles are the twisted sticks that are used to make fences or walls. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee loud glade. 9 bean rows means the poet will have 9 rows of beans. He will sow the seeds of beans, and that will be sowed in 9 rows, and he will have a hive to nurture honeybee, so that the honeybees will make honey in that hive, and he can have that honey and beans to eat and drink. He wants to live alone, and in that loneliness he will have some open space, and the bees will be buzzing around. Bee loud glade means the bees will buzz around in that open space on that island near his hut. So in this stanza, the poet expresses that he wants to get up and go to this island where he will build a hut made of mud and wattles, that is twisted sticks. And in front of his hut, he will have 9 rows of beans and a beehive in which he can make honey. When he live there, he will be alone, but the space around his hut will be filled up with bees buzzing around. And I shall have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping from the vales of the morning to where the cricket sings. Dropping slow means very slow and gradual. Veil is a covering which women wear to hide their face, and cricket is an insect. The poet here says that when in Innisfree, he will feel very peaceful. That feeling of peace is actually very slow and gradual. That peace will come to him very slowly and gradually. And he describes that in the morning time, when it is cloudy and the view is not very clear, then it will appear as if the morning has worn a veil. Like women wear a veil, in the same way, morning has also worn a veil and has hidden itself. And as the clouds will clear off, then it will appear as if the veil of the morning will also drop. So the air in the morning will get cleared as it will drop its veils of clouds. The poet also says that he'll feel peaceful when that cricket, the insect, will sing a song to him. That sound of the cricket will also bring him peace. There midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, and evening's full of the linnet's wings. Now there in Innisfree, the midnight will be a glimmer. Glimmer means shiny, very twinkling. Why midnight is called as glimmer? Because it has a lot of stars which twinkle in the sky. And in the afternoon, the sky will show purple colors. The sky will glow with the color of purple. And when it will be evening, he'll see a lot of linnets. Linnets are small brown birds. And when it is evening time, he will see the linnet birds flying in the sky. And just seeing those linnet birds flying in the sky will give him so much of peace. So all these things, like the clouds in the morning, the song of the cricket, the twinkling stars of midnight, the purple glow of afternoon, and the linnet birds which fly in the evening, all these birds and nature's beauties will give him peace. And that is why he wants to go to Innisfree. In this stanza, there are two poetic devices. The first poetic device is personification in the line, peace comes dropping slow and cricket sings. Here, peace and cricket are not humans, but they are given human-like qualities of dropping, that is coming slowly and gradually, and cricket as a singer who is singing. The second poetic device in this stanza is metaphor in the phrase veils of the morning, where the cloudy morning is compared to a veil in the sky. I will arise and go now, for always night and day I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. The poet here again repeats that he wants to get up and go to Innisfree. He wants to go there for night and for day. He wants to go there permanently. Because here, while he is in the city, he can hear the lake water hitting the shore with low sounds. He is not there in Innisfree, but wherever he is, he can remember that sound of the water on the shore, the waves that hit the shore, and that low sound which it makes. He really remembers that. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement's grey, I hear it in the deep heart score. Pavement means footpath, and heart score means innermost part of the heart. Here it stands for the sound of the waves or sound of the lake water hitting the shore. The poet here says, and he specifies that he is at present standing on the roadway or on the footpath which is grey in color. So he is not in Innisfree, definitely he is in a city where he has been living. And there, when he is standing on the road or the footpath, he can hear the lapping sound of that water deep in his heart. He can hear that sound in the innermost part of the heart. And that is what is calling him back to Innisfree. Let me now summarize this poem for you. In the first stanza, the poet expresses what he will do when he goes there. He'll do three things there. First, he'll build a hut using clay and wattles. Then he will make 9 rows of beans so that he'll get something to eat. And he will have a beehive in which the bees will make honey so that this honey can be used by the poet. And while he'll do so, he'll live in that open space, and that space will be filled up by the buzzing sound of the bees. In the second stanza, the poet describes the beauty of that place. Starting from the morning, when the morning is cloudy, the clouds there are compared to the veil of a woman, like a woman wears a veil to hide her face. In the same manner, the clouds are like a veil in the morning sky. And when those clouds are dropped, the beauty of that morning can be experienced. And then the poet also likes the cricket who sings a song. At midnight, the sky is full of stars, so the twinkling light of the stars make it all the more beautiful. The purple glow when in the afternoon the sky shows those purple shades, that also looks so beautiful. And in the evening, the linnet birds, small brown birds, fly in the sky. So when they spread their wings, they fill up the entire sky, which again looks wonderful. In the third stanza, the poet is wishing that now that he is in a city, he is standing on a road and pavement. He is remembering the landscape of Innisfree. He is remembering the beautiful sounds, the beautiful nature of Innisfree. And he is also remembering the sound of the water which hits the shore. And that sound is echoing deeply in his heart. So his entire mind, body and soul is really missing Innisfree, and he wishes to go there back because he wants to experience that peacefulness or tranquility which he used to do when he was a child. Now after the summary, let's have a quick view of what poetic devices and rhyme scheme is used here. Let's now have a look at the poetic devices used in this poem, and they are alliteration, repetition, personification and metaphor. Let's look at each of these poetic devices with examples, and at the end we'll also see the rhyme scheme. The first poetic device is alliteration, which is repetition of initial consonant sounds of two or more consecutive words. The examples of alliteration in this poem are hive for the honeybee, where her sound is repeated; lake, lapping, low, here l sound is repeated; and water with, here w sound is repeated. The next is anaphora, which is repetition of words or phrases at the beginning of poetic lines. Now in stanza 1 and stanza 3, we have one line which is repeated, that is, I will arise and go now. So this represents usage of anaphora. Next comes personification, which means giving human-like qualities to animals and inanimate objects. There are two examples of personification in this poem. The first one is peace comes dropping slow, and the second one is cricket sings. Now peace and cricket are personified because peace is coming slowly and an insect cricket is singing, and both the activities match human activities. They are treated like humans. The next poetic device is metaphor, which is comparison of two things which are not alike but have something in common. One example of metaphor here in this poem is veils of the morning. The clouds in the morning are compared to a veil. In the morning, when it is cloudy and the view is not clear, then it appears as if the morning wears a veil. Next, we move to rhyme scheme. A rhyme scheme is a rhyming pattern at the end of each line. The lines that rhyme with each other are given the same letter or else a new letter. Let's try to find out the rhyme scheme of the first stanza of this poem. The first step is to underline the last words of each line and then check whether they rhyme or not. The first line will always be given the letter A. The next line has the last word made, which does not rhyme with Innisfree, and therefore it will have a new letter B. Honeybee rhymes with Innisfree, so it will have the same letter A. And glade rhymes with made, so it will take the same letter B. Therefore, the rhyme scheme of this stanza is AB, AB. And likewise, you can find out the rhyme scheme of other stanzas as well. The significance of the title of this poem is very apt or appropriate. This title itself gives us an idea that how this island is important to poet. It is important for its peacefulness. It is important because no one lives there. There is no hustle bustle. There is no noise there. And that is what the poet really wants. That island is important because it brings back his childhood memories to him. It is important because it has beautiful nature, the lovely colors in the sky, the bees, the cricket song, a small hut, a very simple house, and the sound of the water which when hits the shore, that sound is also very special to the poet. Therefore, this title is really correct and appropriate for this poem. Now let's understand the moral of this poem. We must appreciate the beauty of nature. As in this modern world, in the cities, we hardly find any trees. We hardly get to see the birds or animals moving around. In the noisy cities that we live in, the traffic noise, the noise of the factories, the noise of the people moving around, we hardly get any peacefulness. So learn to take a break in your life. Learn to go to such a place which will fill you with tranquility, which will fill you with calmness and peace. That will really refresh your mind, body, and soul. On this happy note, I finish my today's session and I'll see you again in my next video. Till then, keep smiling. God bless you. Thank you very much.